Happy day! Welcome back everybody to Sure Is Good. Today we are going to make a soup. We're going to make a soup that's going to be similar to minestrone. It's kind of got a lot of ingredients, but it's actually quick and easy to make. So first we're going to start off with boiling our water because we are going to have these are small shells, right? And this is actually perfect for when you have like just little tiny bits of noodles or stuff left over, and you want to, you like, what am I going to do with this? So this is great for making like a stew soup or something that'll feed maybe like 1 or 2, maybe 3 people. So first we're going to boil these noodles. So I have the water boiling, and as soon as that's boiled, we're going to put the noodles in the water. Now I've already, we're going to use red kidney beans. Now these beans they're fresh beans. So I put them in water yesterday and I let them soak. They've been soaking about 24 hours. So they're ready to go. So next we're also going to have some spinach and this is mixed chopped vegetables. You have the red pepper, green pepper, you have some celery, and you have onion in this. So we're going to use this, and we're going to have corn nibblets. And then we're going to chop up, this is half of a mushroom. We're going to chop this up, and we're going to cook the mushrooms, corn, and pretty much all the veggies up together. So let's just get into that. So I'm going to take my onions mix, and I'm going to pour just maybe a cupful into the pan. Okay, you can see that. I'm going to add corn, right? Just maybe a cup, a little less than, maybe like a half a cup of corn. And I'm going to add spinach. No, that's not much spinach. I got all my stuff is frozen, so I got one big chunk and like some little sprinkles. But you don't want to add too much spinach because spinach can it just shows up a lot and makes it look like it's just a lot. So you don't want to have that huge presence. So now I'm going to just cut this. Now this is a portobello. This is a thick mushroom. So I'm going to cut this up pretty small. Right? I'm going to make it, because this can be, if you don't cut it up small, it can kind of be, we want the flavors to blend in and not really stand out. So it'll be like these little chewy chunks in there. So we're gonna cut it up pretty small, cutting it like that, and then just slicing it down. Okay, now we're getting down to the last. And we're just going to add this to our pot. That's the pot. Now we're going to add all of this back. We're going to add some vegetable oil. Right, that's about 2 spoonfuls. 2 tablespoonfuls of vegetable oil, and just turn this on, and then just start adding our dry ingredients. Oregano, sprinkle it over the top. Okay. Don't go too heavy. This is minced garlic, so you can check that in there. This is a dried minced garlic, so put that over the top. So here's what we're looking like now. Black pepper. Adobo. We're going to use tomato sauce. Tomato sauce tends to have salt, so we're not going to use a lot of oregano. Just a light drizzle over the top. We're going to use smoked paprika. We don't need a real smoke flavor to come through, so just add on the top, and we are going to now whenever I'm doing vegetables, I like to use some type of vegetable bouillon or vegetable broth. So I'm using vegetable bouillon right now, and again, I only use the tip of a spoon. And that kind of just gives vegetables like a really great flavor. It blends everything in well, and you can't go wrong with a vegetable, especially like a vegetable broth. You just can't go wrong with using that on vegetables. It's really delicious. Now I'm just gonna stir this all up together. Alright, so I want all of this, since it's frozen, I want it to absolutely be defrosted. I want it to, be nice and hot, but you don't have to worry about like cooking this, like really cooking this. So you just want it all to be, defrosted and nice and hot, everything melted in and enough for the flavors to mix together. Everything to get flavor. Now my water is boiling back here, so I'm going to go ahead and add these noodles. And I'm also going to add the beans. And they've been soaking in water. So I'm going to actually pull the water off the beans. The reason I'm doing this is because the beans will take longer to cook. So I want them to have enough time. If I add them to the noodles right now, the noodles will cook fast, will get done first, and the beans won't be ready, and then I can't separate them at that point. So the noodles will wind up overcooking, which we don't want, and the beans still won't be cooked enough. So put that in a separate pot and just let that, I'm gonna add water to that and just let the beans just cook up. I am gonna season the beans. Okay, so I'm gonna turn off this right now, and I'm gonna put some fresh water in the beans. This is 2 cups of water. I'm gonna put the whole thing. Too much for this little pot. So I'm gonna end up, because it's gonna boil out, so I'm gonna end up using like a whole 2 cups, but we add the vegetable broth. Broth. Oil to it. It's been about 5 minutes and the noodles are about halfway cooked. So I'm gonna take them out of the water now. I'm just gonna put them in the pot with the vegetables. So I'm going to add some chili powder to the beans. I'm gonna take the top off because it's kind of hard to sprinkle, and I'm gonna put a spoonful. This is a tablespoon. I'm gonna put a tablespoonful of chili powder in the beans. I'm gonna put some oregano, a little oregano in the beans, so you can see the oregano in the beans and the chili powder. And I'm going to use the Cajun seasoning. Sprinkle that. I'm going to actually give that a little taste, make sure it has flavor. Okay. You can taste the flavors from the different seasonings, and that you don't need to be strong, pungent, you just need to be able to taste it. And we're going to let these beans cook for 45 minutes before we start adding anything else. And you just want to check it to make sure the water doesn't boil out. Make sure you always have enough water in your pot so that the beans, all of the beans, are submerged in the water. Right? All of your beans should be under the water. Okay, so it's been about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours that these beans have been cooking. And I let them cook that long because I can tell when I stir them, they, some of them just still felt hard. So I try to push them against the side and see if they smash. If they smash easy, then they're ready. But some of them, beans don't necessarily cook evenly. So you want to make sure all of the beans are softer. You'll also get beans that are split open. So that's another way you can tell that, that they're cooking. They're, pretty much done. So now I'm going to add my noodles and my veggies to this. And before I do that, I just want you to see how much this has cooked down. You can see the beans now in it. It's nice and a little thicker. The water is a little thicker, and it's more of a gravy than just water. So with the macaroni shells only being half cooked and the veggies just done, we're going to add all of it to the beans. I'm going to, as you can see, it's not completely under the water. It's supposed to be soup, so this does not look like soup. It's too much stuff in here for it to be, you know, really like a good soup. So we're going to add another 1 cup of water to this. I have this bottle of 1 cup, and we are going to add the tomato sauce now. I added a half a cup. I added a cup and a half of water in here, and now you can see I added the vegetables with the noodles, and you can see it's nice and frothy. And I added tomato sauce, a cup of spaghetti sauce, and so I'm gonna let this cook now all together for another 20 minutes. Another 20 minutes, and then it's going to be done. The last thing I'm going to add is just a spoonful of sugar. Now I'm using whole earth plant-based sugar alternative, which is why I'm going to add a whole spoonful, because this is not very sweet, and you want to just kind of like tone down the salt content a little bit, and that's what the sugar actually does. It also makes it more like a marinara sauce taste than the saltier spaghetti sauce taste. Just stir that in, and I'm just gonna let it cook for 20 minutes to a half hour. It is ready to be served. Look at that. Now here we are. It is ready to be served. Oof. Wow, look at that. Nice and stocky. Veggies, beans, beautiful. Every spoon full of goodness, full of nutrition. Nutritious and delicious. Okay. Just for some added goodness, put the frosting on the cake. I'm just going to sprinkle just a little bit of cheese right on the top. And there you go. Wow, that's good. That's so good. The noodles are so tender, without being overcooked. It's got a mild sweetness to it, just very faint sweetness to it, and it's just delicious. The spices are it. Gotta try it. You'll love it. You'll like, subscribe, and make sure you watch the videos to the end, and look for our next video. Okay, be sure to share, like, and subscribe, and see you next video.